kind of a tough situation question from the Modern Divorce Support Group that we're going to talk about. Mom lives in Utah, dad lives in Arizona. Dad has the kids for Thanksgiving this year. There is nothing in the parenting plan about how pickups or drop-offs are supposed to work. And dad is saying he's flying to Utah, getting the kids and flying them back to Arizona, and that it is on mom to figure out how to get them from Arizona back to Utah at the end of Thanksgiving break. Mom is saying, I can't afford it. My van is not in a situation where it can drive. It's a 20-hour drive and I don't have the money for flights. He's not working with me. What can I do? So there's not a good answer here. It's not black and white. Every single Arizona parenting time order is supposed to have specifics of how drop-offs and pickups work and who's responsible for that on each time because of that. But in this case, because it doesn't say anything, there's no good answer. So if dad comes and picks up, then it's reasonable that he would expect that you would come pick up on your time. If he refuses to meet halfway or do things a different way, it's going to get very complicated. At the same time, if he picks up and he takes the kids to Arizona and he refuses to bring them back, that's not going to look good for dad. But he hasn't actually violated any orders. You could call the police about custodial interference, and I have a whole podcast episode that's going to drop very soon about custodial interference, but he hasn't really interfered. It's just you haven't come to pick up your kids. It's not a good situation. It should be avoided. Because you have a few weeks and you know it's a problem now, I would recommend you talk to your lawyer and or you file something in court for an emergency status conference to try to get a solution. I think the key here is for you to be proactive and reasonable. And then if dad isn't, then you could end up with a situation where you get an order where he is responsible for all pickups and drop-offs on these vacations. That's possible. So you got to play the long game here. Definitely talk to a lawyer about strategy. If you're not represented, go to Win Without Law School. We can help you with the strategy part if you're representing yourself. And if you are represented by a lawyer, get with your lawyer and make sure you have a strategy both on how to deal with Thanksgiving, but also how to deal with this long term.